and welcome to this brand new game. Yes, I did say in the very beginning that if a new farming game comes out, if something, of what this channel is about does come along, I would give it a go and a show, if you like, and yeah, we would give it a try. And that's what we're going to do today. So as you can see, this game is called Farm Manager World. It came out in April of this year, I do believe. It was either April or maybe early August. I can't remember. I'm sure it was April. The Steam page said it was released. Yeah, I thought, well, actually, why not? We'll give it a go. It was on sale on Steam as well at the moment. I don't know whether it still is actually as this video goes out, but the time that I purchased it, it was on sale. To be fair, I think it's only about £16 anyway, so it's not a huge amount of money. But yeah, so I thought we'd give it a go. So I have loaded it in prior, and I have had a little sort of look at it. So I don't, this is not going to be one of these, sort of, make believe worlds where I go, oh, I'm experiencing it all for the first time with you, and they're sort of clicking through and doing anything. What, you just naturally know how this game's laid out, do you? No, so if it looks in game when we get there that I have maybe done it before, it's because I have. Because I needed to because we all know I'm a bit thick, and I needed sort of like a few hours just to kind of get my head around a few things, and like obviously with Dyscalculia, and this is about managing money. I had to kind of get my head sort of to a basic level of understanding where I could then play the game and not look silly, basically. So we're going to play single player, and then I've turned the music off already because I don't want to get copyright strike. But we're going to play single player, and then we're going to play free mode. And what we're going to do is I'm going to go through. So what we'll call this is what I thought we'd do is we're going to be in Europe, because the farm's going to be outside my window as I look now. So we're going to be in Europe. Probably going to keep most of that the same. I'm probably not going to change much of that. There'll be one or two little things that I might sort of turn off, just because I found, as I've said, I do struggle with certain things, and let's put it this way: when I left everything as it was, I was bankrupt every time. When I took one or two little things off, I survived. We ain't going to have much of a mini series if every episode I go bankrupt at least 6 times, are we? So we will change it. But what I thought we'd do is, rather than sort of go, fall in, wheat, canola, barleys and all of that, good stuff. What we'd do is we'd do something completely different. So I thought we would run a strawberry farm. Fields, because we'll have multiple. Yeah, so I thought we would run a strawberry farm. We would see if we could build ourselves a strawberry empire. We will do other stuff as well, just so you get to see the game and everything that it has to offer. But our primary, sort of objective is that we're going to be a strawberry based farm. That's how we're going to start. That's how we're going to make our money. And what we'll do is then, as we progress, if this sort of catches on and people watch and people are interested, and people comment and say, this is good fun, or this is rubbish, or whatever, but if it's sort of positive, we'll carry on, and then we'll look to go into orchards, and then we'll look to go into maybe dairy farming. And then we'll look to go into kind of anything, really. You can do dairy, you can do literally anything you can do in real life, you can do on this game. So you've obviously got Europe, you've got Central America, and you've got Asia as your continents of the world that you can farm on. So I'm going to keep it Europe just because that's where I am. Yeah, what I'll do is, next time that you hear my voice, we'll be in game and we'll be ready to start. So I'll see you in a bit. Alright, we're back and we're in game. Right, so I've paused time, so don't worry about the bird here. I mean, I couldn't have timed that any better, could I? But I've paused time because time does move quite quickly, as they always do in these types of game, and obviously time is money. But yeah, I just thought it was odd how I'd caught that bird. But yeah, don't worry, he'll be fine. He'll fly off in a second. So this is the farmhouse. This is where you kind of start the game, and where sort of the hub of the farm obviously will be. And the idea is, if I scroll out a little bit, you build around and you get going. And then once, if I just click on the farmhouse, once you've kind of filled the bit that you start with, you've got all of this to sort of go at as well. So in the end, you'll have a pretty big farm. Now I've sort of kind of, as you know, we called it Strawberry Field. So I'm thinking our central sort of hub where we start, sort of almost a bit like Market Gardener sort of type series that we had on FS25 way back in the winter, which started out as Market Gardener and then somehow managed to drift into full-on farming. I'm not really sure how or why I let that happen, but it did. But I thought on here we would, we would just do strawberries. So like greenhouses, and we'll also have fields of strawberries as well. Just so that we can get going, and then we'll need to get excuse me, we'll need to get productions and stuff like that as well going, but that's a little way off. But that's the map that you can see. Oh, and incidentally, actually, I meant to just say where these mounds are, so where the mountains and the hills are, and I can show you sort of, because there's one right behind us just here. You can't do anything with this land. You can't bulldoze it and flatten it. You can't build on it. You can't put fields on it, which, I mean, that stands to reason, doesn't it? But I would have thought the game would have let you sort of terraform it and flatten it out at a cost, of course. But, but no, you can't. They have to remain. But yeah, so anyway, without further ado, let's crack ourselves on and get going. So we've paused, as I say, I've paused time just because time does run away quite quickly, and time is money. So we'll get the road in. So we'll go like that. Ooh, like that. Oh, actually, could we go that way? Yes, we could. And then like that. Ooh. And as I say, oh no, I did it wrong. And then like that. Right, there is a reason why I've left them, so don't think I'm nuts. Next thing that we want to do is, and although, as I've said, I have like played the game for about half an hour, just over probably, just to kind of get my head around it and kind of help me, because otherwise you're just going to have a video of me going, oh, well, where's that? Oh, I kind of needed to know what was in each of these little tabs. And as we start farming and start playing and get going, those tabs will become more and more obvious. So these obviously down here are your fluctuations. So honey and silage at the moment are down. Is that soybeans? Maybe bio soybeans. So organic soybeans, and cows are up. So if we had them, we would be making good money. So the one feature that I did see on this game that I quite like is this. So you can have planning mode. So we click on the house, and then you have to turn it around, and everything has to be linked to a road. Okay, now I've not really watched YouTubers play this game. I've literally watched the opening, probably sort of 5-10 minutes of each YouTuber's video, just to, because when I first started playing, I couldn't get anything to work, and I couldn't work out why. And so I watched 10 minutes of 2 or 3 YouTubers that all did the same thing and all had the same results, and I knew that that was what I was doing wrong. These houses and these buildings and all the other good stuff that we're going to do, everything has to be connected to a road. You start off with £1 million. If you start off on easy, it's 2 million, I think. And then I'm on medium because I want it to be a challenge, but at the same time I don't want so that we have to wait 9 years for progress. So we'll put these in, and as I say, we've got factories and other stuff like that to put in as well. So I've put in the two-way road right from the get-go, which a lot of them kind of sort of say you don't need or whatever, but we've got £1 million, and we're not going to have a massive amount of setup costs. So the next thing that I want to do is put in a field, and to be fair, I only ever did this once, and I can't remember the size. I think if we have a 23 by 23 field, like that, and then we'll do the same again, which I think brings it out to about there, doesn't it? Yep, that was a good guess, wasn't it? Jeez, me eyes in today, people. Right, and then we go back to here, and then we need to go into garages, and then put some garages there. Now, the one thing I don't get with these garages, right, the basic one holds 12 parking places, right? So it means you can get 12 machines in the parking bay, right? The posh one holds 6 spaces, so half as many as the crap one. That is £5 more, right? Now, it says, oh, it will, improve machine durability by 30%, blah, 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 blah. But you can cancel that out on this one by making this one more efficient than that one by 2 ways. A, hiring staff that are specialists in driving tractors. They will, the amount of damage, wear, and everything else on the tractors will be minimal. And also as well, you can build a maintenance garage, a workshop, and the tractors will go in there, and every so often the little man will pop out in his service truck, and he'll drive to the tractor and he'll fix it and whatever else, and carry on. So it makes more sense to have these. As I say, we've got everything in planning mode at the moment, so that way we can then change our mind. Oh, hang on a minute, I haven't done that very good, James. But that's why we're in planning mode, because then I can mess it up. Right, let's do that again. There we go, that's better. Alright, so we've got that in there. We need to leave a bit of space for roads and stuff. So again, we're going to have a road go out the back here, just because that's important, and we'll perhaps also as well have a road go up there and across there and different things. So yeah, so I'd sort of kind of felt, a few days ago, sort of playing farming sim as I do every day, or every day that I'm at home anyway, and just one evening I was kind of like, I'm a bit, I just like wouldn't mind something else to do. So we will crack on actually while we talk. So if I now click on that, and then that's gonna leave me a problem. There we go. Yeah, so I'm not actually going to be able to do plan mode, because my recording bar, so it gives me like that I'm recording, it gives me the time, and then the pause and the microphone button. Where the build thing is, you would have seen that quite clearly, but it covers up the bar, and inside the recording bar, those bars are not clickable. So this is going to be blooming awkward, and we're probably going to be making some mistakes along the way, but anyway, we'll do our best. So we'll get that down, and then we will buy some machinery. So we'll go for the best straight off. Oh, actually, no, we won't. We need to do this first. We need to do the fields first. So we'll have organic, just because later on in the game we will of course be maybe having cattle somewhere else, so we'll do that. We want field work on, we want the rotation to be the same. We just want to grow strawberries year after year. I think that's everything. Indeed it is. Oh, actually, no. So the one thing that I did learn is that we're going to have our warehouses in and around here, and we're going to have I thought we'd have greenhouses this side and warehouses and logistics this side, keep kind of all of those kind of buildings here, but these warehouses that we're going to put down here don't quite reach into, I think I'm right in saying this, we can actually just check this out. Well, if we put them this side, yeah, I want them this side though, to be fair, but they sort of do reach. I think as long as the shaded area is on the field, I think the whole field is reached. I think I'm right in saying that, but just to absolutely cover ourselves, we'll have the strawberries in this field. So we won't do planning on that one. One thing I do need to also do is get a house built, which we've managed to do. So we'll have strawberries in this field. As you can see, I've not like played it to the point where I'm flawless and I can just like click, 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 and I've done it all. I've tried not to get myself too familiar with the game. I've tried to kind of, so that it is, you know, so we do make mistakes and we will make mistakes. Just need to make sure all of that is correct. Yep. And then this side, I mean, we could still have strawberries and then just not have greenhouses. I don't know which way round would be best to do that. Let's just keep it like that for now. And then what we'll do is, we see, as I say, you know, I do apologise. My brain is it's not very good at solving problems. So I need to get the house built. We need some machines. So we'll buy a tractor. We'll buy the best tractor. We'll have a John Deere green. Yep. And you have to put that then in your parking spaces, and then that's designated to that tractor. So we'll do that, and then we'll buy a second one. I know it does say you can buy multiple, but if you do that, you'll get one the colour you colour it, and the other one will be red. So I find it's best to do it like that. And then we will need a plough. So we go on to tools because it's a bit easier to find. We can keep that the same colour. And then right, if you click on to the field and then click here, it tells you what machines you're going to need for the crops. So we're going to need a cultivator, a manure spreader, a transplanter, a water tanker, a sprayer, and a trailer. Okay, so then if you click on there, it does that for some reason. I wish it just, rather than sort of select, you know, I wish it just showed you the cultivators. There's only 2 in the game, so why it can't just show you both, I have no idea. But anyway, well, then no, that one won't go in there. Dear me, James. As I said, you know, I did have a brief look. Let's just build all of them at the game, but I'm no expert at it, and I know it's probably very frustrating and annoying to watch. And of course, naturally, I do apologise, but oh well. That's going to have to be like that now. It's meant to go in there. All right. The next thing that we need is, we got the cultivator. Oh no, we were doing cultivators, weren't we? So we need a cultivator. Rather than doing it that way, I'll do it this way, which is that one. That was the one that I meant to put in here. So we've got a cultivator in there, and then we need a manure spreader. We'll paint that green just so as it matches. Yeah, put that in there. A transplanter was next, which is that one. We'll make that one red for Grimmy. Will that fit there? Nope. Nope. Oh, it'll fit in there though. And then we needed a trailer. Needed a water tanker first. That will go in there. Then we needed a trailer. We'll have green for Bailey. He can go in there. We've got a manure spreader, we got that. We need a sprayer. We'll just keep that one as it is, and we'll put that in there. I think that was everything. Yep, that's everything. So what we'll do is, we'll now fast forward time. The houses will get built. Once the houses get built, we can then employ some staff. So you click on the house, click hire, and then what I do is I tend to do this. Now, Lola Hawkins is very skilled at tractor driving, so she is going to be very handy. So we won't let her do manual work. We won't let her use machines, but we will allow her to drive the machines, as I say, and we'll do the same for him. So or her, sorry. We've got 2 tractor drivers now. We've only got 2 tractors, so you know, that's kind of all we need at this point, because they'll both go out ploughing now. They'll get these 2 fields ploughed, and then we'll be able to move on. So this one is your selling and your buying. So this is the marketplace basically. So these are all the things that you can do, and honestly, this game there's a lot, which is really cool. You know, I sort of really like that. And at some point, you know, if, as I say, if the series is popular and what have you, you know, then we can, you know, we can carry on and we can do most of that. This is when you've got stuff to sell, which obviously we haven't at the moment. And then you've got auto trade. I've never really been able to figure this out. I don't know. Let's type in. Well, we're going to need manure, aren't we? Because we're spreading that on our fields, but it's this that I kind of, it's numbers and my head goes, and I don't understand. And so that's sell, so purchase, okay, so purchase until 100. So if I click that, that surely now means that we're going to purchase 100, but I think we're going to need 2,000. Because they're big fields. So if we do that, let's see if that works. I've never been able to get that to work. Now we've only got 1 cultivator, which now means that this field can't be done, which is fine actually, because then he'll come back, do that one, and then that one can take the transplanter or the manure spreader or whatever it needs to take, and then can get on with that while this one's being done. So that's fine. Right, the one thing we do need to sort out is logistics, and we do need some warehouses. So we need to get those done. That was the one thing I did learn from my little playthrough. Let's get a road going first, James. And as I say, I'll do the two-way roads just because they are bloody easier. So we'll do that all the way up to there, which is fine. And then you can rotate the camera, which is good. And then you can't do that one, so and then all the way across to there. Again, that's fine, we can fill that in. So I'm going to show you why you need little bits and pieces like that, because you're going to need it for your workers, believe it or not. because I kind of thought, oh, I'm not going to bother with all that rubbish, and then sort of everyone started quitting. So you've got to bother with all that rubbish. The game kind of forces it upon you, but that's fine. I mean, we can, we can sort it out from there. So right, we've got a nice little square here. So as we expand, our machines will stay along there. This, now, as far as I know, because the next building we're going to put down is a logistics building. We're going to put that over here. As far as I know, that building doesn't have a range, which is fine, which is good. So that if I've understood this correctly, that means that this building will cover the whole farm if that's what's required. I may be wrong on that, but anyway, we'll put that in. And then we also need some warehouses. We'll put them down this side. We'll start them off in this corner. We'll put 3. Can we get a 4th in? Yeah, we can. So we'll put them in. That's really good. Now you need to assign staff. That I do know. So we'll hire. Now for distribution, you need this one. And what we'll do is we'll take him off everything, so that all that they are doing is driving the trucks. And the trucks are going to be what moves everything around the farm. Now, they're not going to move anything at the moment, because at the moment we don't have anything, to move. We've got no crops or nothing. The year is rapidly passing on, but unfortunately, the first year is a bit of a struggle. And this is what kept catching me out. So we've got our warehouses. Oh dear, I didn't get that together quite properly. I could have got a 4th one in there. Never mind. We've got our warehouses. We've got our logistics centre, which is pretty cool. We won't be worrying about the maintenance at this stage. We've no real need to be panicking there. As I say, at this stage, I mean, actually, can we? Oh, look at that! Look, sure. Look, there's enough. Actually, we'd be okay to put a single in there, because if we did that, that would be fine, because we could then put our maintenance guy here and here, have that road running up there just in case we wanted to do something else. That's cool, because they're only going to need to be one way, whereas these 2-way roads means that all of the trucks coming out of there can get around the whole farm, with ease, because the roads are 2-way. So why is no one working on the fields? If you click here, it usually will tell you what the problem is. We're going to need one of these anyway. Can we put that stinkly next to the houses? I mean, surely they won't mind. We could put it in there, actually. Yeah, we'll put that in there. Right, the muck spreader's now going out. Have they been planted? Nope. Don't know. Right. The next thing that we need to do is actually just now wait for the crops to be planted. I didn't realise, actually, excuse me 1 second. Just need to have me cup of tea. Alright, the manure trucks are coming in, so hopefully the other tractor driver then can get in doing that. This one then needs to be planted. I've got 2 tractor drivers that should literally just be So their sole sort of job on the farm is to drive the bloody tractors. And I've got 2 tractors sat doing nothing. I would like to say this went better in rehearsals, but I didn't rehearse this. I literally, I put a few buildings down, sort of couldn't work out why they weren't working. As I said, watched a couple of YouTubers, and then it was like, oh, I need to put roads on them. Okay, well that makes sense. Yeah, I should have figured that out myself. And then just came in for I can start my series. Oh, wait, not but my sort of kind of let's show you the game, and then if it was popular and by some miracle it sort of grabbed everybody's attention and everyone went, yeah, carry on, keep doing it. Right, not enough staff. So what we need to do is we'll take on some more tractor drivers. No, we'll say that these ones, they don't do manual work, but they can use machines. There we go. Right, hopefully now we should have the staff that we require. 1 tractor out, 1 tractor back. Oh, he's put the planter on. Why can't this one go and get that? We've not got enough manure. We've got 13,500 litres. I did set this field up right, didn't I? Yeah, I'm sure I did. Anyway, strawberries are going in. So as you can see, there's our tractor with the strawberry plants on the back. The only thing I would like to be different about this game is if I click on that tractor, like on some like theme park type games and water park type games, you can click on the vehicle, like on Transport. For those that have ever played Transport Fever, which I do enjoy that game, but again, because of my sort of my general thickness, I can't play that game worthy enough of like sort of covering it in a video or a series. I mean, I can't really do this game, but I kind of sort of, I think we're getting somewhere. I just can't work out why that tractor is not going out. Manure spreading. We've got a manure spreader, we've got manure, we've got a tractor, we've got about 6 tractor drivers. Or is he actually going to do something? Indeed he is. Right, what's this one say? Not enough staff. Of course there is. There's loads of staff. I'm wondering how much did that cost? 12,827. Right. Okay. So now he's got the water tanker on. So he's now going to water my strawberries, which is good. Don't suppose we could get a 2-way road down there, could we? We can. We'll do it. Right, that's going to really help. So both of our tractors are out now doing stuff. Now he should go back. This is the other frustration as well, is it's daytime in the game, as you can see, but once he's completed a job, he then has to walk all the way back to the house, rest, then walk all the way back, get in a tractor, put the planter on, and then go and plant. If it's daylight hours, as far as my head sort of kind of works, is he should drop the muck spreader off, come in here, pick up the planter and think, right, I'll crack on now planting them, right? And sort of we carry on like that. Now we've only got 1 water tanker and we've only got 1 sprayer. He's now going to fuel up, so at some point we are going to need to put in the service thing and the diesel, but for now we won't do it because we don't have, we're rapidly running out of money. But the one thing I think we will do, and this will start to eat our money, but it'll also start to bring money in, is we will build 2 greenhouses. Now then, I need to be a bit careful here. Because these greenhouses are only 7,000 each, which is an absolute bloody bargain. That's not quite going to be in line with that road, I don't think. You watch, this won't work now. Oh, it might. It does. Look at that. Right. That went a lot better than what I anticipated that would go. Now, I'll leave this space clear because, and we're going to need to build a few more houses now. Because we are going to need quite a lot of workers now. And as I say, this is the bit where now we're going to start to maybe lose money. Right, we can get one more in here now. We need to be very picky now because from what I understand, but we don't want him to drive any, but we do want him to use machines. Right, as I say, we do need a lot now of these because they've got to work the greenhouses. I mean, well, okay, you're all experts in other stuff, and I don't really need experts in other stuff. I need experts in plants. But as I say, we're going to need a lot of workers now. Thankfully, that does refresh quite quickly. Yes, there we go. So, but as I say, that will stop them. Clicking that off will stop that. As I understand it, will stop them driving the tractors. Will allow them to do manual work, which means work in the greenhouses. Allow them to use machines, which, as I understand, and I may be wrong, means that they can then go into the fields and pick the strawberries and put them into the trailers, into the waiting trailers. I mean, he literally goes up here and then just comes back again. There's no fuel station down here. They magically fuel from fossils found in the ground somewhere up here. Brilliant. Don't you just love games like this? Right, summer is here and we still haven't harvested any bloody strawberries yet. Right, let's see if we can get some more workers. Like I say, we got that house is full. That house is full, so now we need this one. And as I say, we are going to literally need to fill these houses with staff that can run these greenhouses and run these fields. You know, you are literally going to be filling up this row. It is very expensive to get a greenhouse, to get a farm off the ground on this game. Hence the reason why in the 2 times that I've tried, I've gone bust. And so I thought, oh, actually, wouldn't it be quite funny if I was doing a YouTube video and I kept going busting it? You know, people could have a good laugh at my expense and we'd all have a good bit of fun. But then I kind of loaded it in and thought, well, I'll try my best. I'll try not to go bust. How about that? Right, now, as you will remember, before I said that these areas were quite important. Now, we're not going to fill that in just because we might be able to get another building or 2 in there. But these other bits, these bits down here, I didn't want to do this, but the game kind of forces your hand, right? You've got all these decorations, right? Now, for me, complete waste of time, blah, 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 blah. But for the game, not a complete waste of time. Can we get a tree in there? Yeah, so there we go, look. No, can't get another one in, so that's good. But they are vitally important because they are going to lift the mood of your staff, as I understand it. As I say, the one time that I did sort of kind of get a farm up and running, everyone quit. It deleted the tree. What did you delete the tree for? Yeah, everyone sort of kind of quit, and I couldn't really work out why. And in the end, I kind of was like, okay, they need to apparently to see flowers when going to their workstations. Okay. Honestly, when I was, sort of working on the farm, whether I turned up to work or not was not so much about whether I saw flowers. It was about, well, it wasn't about anything really. I just turned up to work because I genuinely couldn't afford not to. And I love my job, which does help. Yeah, that does help. If you love your job, right. So we've got some things in there that should satisfy them for now. So we've got strawberries. We've got 19 days left until they're harvested, which is good. We have got 6 days left until they're harvested, which is good. Now we're going to need more staff. So let's go into here and here. We should hopefully, yeah. We'll have to take, oh, do you know what? When you need them, you just don't have them, do you? And then the other thing that we need to do, I'm just wondering if that will be enough houses to run the strawberry operation, because that's all they're going to be doing. They ain't going to be doing nothing other than running greenhouses in these fields. Okay. I didn't really need to note that. I could have just popped down here and see that he was busy. But we are probably going to need 2 water tankers because these fields do need doing at the same time. So that's maybe something for the future to think about, getting a second water tanker so that 2 can be out in the fields watering at the same time. Just out of interest, can I fit that in there? No. What about in there? Nope. What about that way? Nope. So we don't do that. Right, this field is now being harvested, so how much is the doggy in the window? Now, how much is the... okay. That is 380,000 and we don't have enough money. That's fine, we can just sell strawberries to strawberries. The game doesn't mind that, so that's what we'll do. So up here, you can then sort of, again, this is something that I figured out the other day, so we can do that, and then we will then do the strawberry jam as well, because eventually that's what we'll have. We'll turn that off, which is good. So we've got our strawberries, as you can see, all of our little people out in the fields. We need to set those glass houses up next, but I want the workers first. Otherwise the game screams at you again. The game loves screaming at you. But we will do this. At least we've got a few this time. And we'll just keep going until it tells me to build a house. Which it didn't. Which is fine. But now we can't take it anymore. Right, so that's got our workers there. No idea what that's about. Right, let's now set these up. So we need to allow manual work. Once you get the strawberries up and going, I'm hoping that they're going to become quite a regular, sort of harvest. I'm hoping it's not one harvest a year. If it is, I haven't really thought through my strawberry empire, have I? But we'll wait and see what happens on that one. That is everything that I need to do. So we need to do this for all of them, which is good. We'll turn it over to manure. We want to be nice and organic on this farm if we can be. And then this one. Now we've already done that one. Was it that one then that I didn't do? Yep. Yeah, so as I say, we want to try and be nice and organic, because the reason being, again, and if this does take off and people like it and people want to see more of it and blah blah blah, then manure is something that we can obviously grow, because we can get ourselves some animals and we can get ourselves. Oh, that's not how you spell strawberry, James. Yeah, that'll do. As I say, and then we can sort of get a dairy farm up and going, make cheese and butter and other good stuff like that. But as I say, all of that depends on the kind of the comments and whatever else is going on at the time. We need to take on now. I think what we will do is is we will build these houses, because we really do need to make sure that we do have the staff for everything. I know it's going to be incredibly expensive for a beginning, but it's going to be, I think, vitally important. Made that sound very dramatic there, didn't I? Vitally important to your survival. Yeah, so, right, okay. So if we look actually in, we can't probably build any, which is fine. So you've got a bee house, which I've not used, so I don't really know how that works. And then we've got a small coop for chickens, ostriches, ducks, and whatever that is. Turkey, maybe? Is that a turkey? It looks like a turkey. Oh no, that's an ostrich. I don't know. Anyway, that's what we've got there. And then we've got an ostrich pen in here, so that must have been a turkey. Then we've got an ostrich pen. We've got a coop for a medium one. So then they go from small, and then as you go through, you've got a fish farm, which that might be interesting to have a look at, but certainly not in a position to do that at the moment. I don't think 10,000 we could afford it. And then you've got a small cow shed, and then small pigsties, a medium cow shed. You've also got sheep barns as well. Interestingly enough, you don't have horses on this game, which does sort of thingy. In the sheep pen there, you can have sheep. So you can have alpaca, young sheep, and then sheep. And you can breed them for milk. For milk, you can breed. Well, you can breed them for milk, to be fair, but you can breed them for wool and meat, which is what I was actually trying to get around to. Right, so we've got quite a bit of strawberry now in stock, so we will sell the strawberries for £274,000. Thank you very much. This one's now being harvested. They're now being worked. We still need more workers. As I say, the more that we can get, the better. You'll find now that strawberries, because we've sold quite a lot, they will now come into the crash market, as I call it, because we did sell quite a few, but it has raised our money a little bit. And we probably, with another sale of this field, we could then and by the looks of it, it doesn't need to be ploughed up and then done again. Well, that's really good, because that then must make you 4 days left again for another harvest. So that's really, really good. I didn't realise that. I thought that each time you harvested a crop, it had to be ploughed up, cultivated, manured, planted. So that's really good. Yeah, I'm pleased with that. That's gone better than I thought. Is it this one? Yeah. You still need 3 in here. Excellent. 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 Yes. Okay. Right, that's good. We've taken on a few more workers. So we'll eventually get it so that we'll have more than enough workers to work any of these greenhouses, any of these fields, at the same time. We've got 2 tractors and trailer. Oh, actually, we need another trailer. We need a second trailer. Quickly, we need a second trailer, because we've got a field ready to be harvested, and it's not there. Right, we need a trailer, and we need to put that like that. Yeah, put that in there like that. So we've now got 2 trailers, 2 tractors, 1 cultivator, 2 ploughs. We need another water tanker, really. So I think, because we don't need the plough now, so I think we sell the plough, and we don't go there, we go there. We need another water tanker. No, that's liquid manure. Where's the water? There's the water. Alright, and then we can put that in there. Oh, what? What about there? Oh, what? Okay, right, we can relocate that. Repark that one. Repark that one. And then we can probably do it. How do you prefer to watch these games? With someone who actually knows what they're doing, or with someone who's just bumbling along? Right, we've got more strawberries. Like I say, it won't be long now before the strawberry market completely crashes because of the amount that we're selling, but that's another 212 grand going into the strawberry market, with these now being harvested as well. So we should have waited, actually, if I was thinking, and then we could have got that done. Right, they're all growing and doing fantastically well. Isn't that marvelous? Right, you're hired. Like I say, we're going to need quite a lot of workers. And then when we come to, because that's all we've got for again there, when we come to sort of expanding the farm out, we'll then put more houses down, more, parking buildings. So that machinery there will kind of look after all of this. And then say, like, if we want to build a dairy farm, say, out here somewhere or wherever, then what we could do is put more parking spaces down, more houses down. We'll need silos and stuff like that to hold crops, and barns and stuff to hold hay and straw and all that good stuff, silage as well. And then build our fields, and then all of that machinery would then look after all of this. As I say, here we could have like animals or whatever over here, because we're not going to be able to build a very big field here because of here. So we'll buy this plot, extend the road there, and then come across there with the road, and then go back out there so that machines have got a full way round. We'll sort of really get a really great empire going. I kind of want to, because we're at 47 minutes at the moment, I kind of want to at least get the jam factory up and going. This I mean, was never really going to be a hugely long video anyway. But if I was to do a series on this, if the comments come in, or if people want to see it, if I, and I don't say this as a negative, I just say this as a matter of fact. If I don't get any comments, what I'll do is I'll do a few more videos, and then if we're still not getting no comments, but say, we're getting sort of 60, 70, 80, 90 views on these videos, I'll carry on. If the videos are starting to do sort of 5s, 10s, 15s views, then, obviously I'll stop it. Like I say, in November, when the new expansion for Farming Sim comes out, there is going to be a long-term series coming from that. I've already got the map prepared. I've already got sort of everything kind of set up. I'm just waiting for the expansion pack to come, or the expansion download to come, so that I'll actually be able to do all of the things that I want to do on there. I've spent quite a bit of time, actually, to be fair, doing the getting that map ready and prepared for what's coming, so I'm really looking forward to that, because, as I say, that's going to become a new long-term series for FS25, and then we'll also do like another sort of series alongside that won't be long-term. It will just be until kind of we get to a set point, and then we sort of go from there. But all right, we'll sell some more strawberries for another 251,000. And we're doing very, very nicely at the moment. How much we got now? 719. Right, there we go. So 251,000. Let's now take on. So, yep. I know you kind of might be thinking this is a bit overkill, James, but we are going to need the workers. I mean, we've got another field now coming in. We haven't quite got these. These have still got a little while, but there's quite a lot of work to getting them set up. But clearly, once they're set up, they don't need to be reworked again. Now, I'm hoping that works the same in greenhouses that once the rows are in, as they are clearly in. Oh wait, what are they doing? Oh look, they've got little hazmat suits on. Look, they've come spraying the strawberries. Autumn's in. Right, now we can get the factory built, which is that one. Will it fit? Indeed it will. Right, we will put, I don't know why they're yellow. That's odd. Why does it make a difference being this further way down? So if I was to then put it over here, say, no. Oh, well, that's quietly strange. Anyway, seeing as the workers for that are going to be going in these houses, that seems fine. We could actually, that does give us room for another one, which is really good actually. Or we could put another greenhouse. We might even be able to get another 2 greenhouses in there. That would be something special. One level with the tree. No, so we'd only get another 1 in there. That's fine. Alright, that's being harvested. That's shouting at me. Tractor's busy. How much are the monthly? So we're currently spending £68,000 a month on wages, buildings, machines, because you have like obviously your fuel costs. You have so everything that is coming out. So I think, as I say, that is wages for your staff. The machine sort of repairs and stuff like that, the building costs are, do you know what, my OCD has been screaming at me all of this episode because of that bloody gap. So annoyed. Now the old James, before working with as many people as he did work with, would have to just go, no, I'm not doing it, I'm starting again because of that gap. Whereas the new James is kind of like, that's really irritating me, but I'm better than that. We can carry on. So we'll just carry on. Right, we will, hang on, yeah, we can get 1 more in here. So as I say, we need as many of these staff as we can get. But because we're depleting the market, there's not many of them available. But as I say, we've got the tractors now to cope with, or at least we should have. Where's the other tractor? I've got 1 tractor there. Where's the other tractor? We're missing a tractor. Has he gone to refuel at the pretend refueling place? Well, that's as far as we can go that way. What happened to my other tractor? Does anyone know? He's back. Yeah, he must have gone off that way this time to refuel. Okay. Oh, hang on, he's coming out. What's he doing? Oh, he's putting the water thing on. Right, we've got more strawberries, so we can, yet again, sell some more strawberries. Seems to be that is kind of the acceptable selling amount that doesn't crash the market, so that's quite good actually. Because what that means is that that means we're obviously you know, keeping the lion's share of the market, but we're not crashing the price. Just as he says that, strawberries do indeed crash. We have sold too many strawberries, which is good and fine now because we've now got this. So we now need to set up this. So the first thing we need to do is to get some workers. And the workers that we need are manufacturing workers, and we don't want them to do anything other than manufacture. So, and I think it was 4. I'm sure it was 4. It was indeed. Right, then we need to choose this. Go to strawberry and jam. Excellent. All right. No resource. Order strawberries. I don't need to order strawberries. I have Oh, it's working. I think it's working. Why do you keep screaming at me? No resource. It has strawberries. What? It has strawberries. We have a lot of strawberries. I was rather hoping. Jam as well. Fantabby-dozy. Right, we are getting somewhere. So this video has got to 55 minutes. I think that is long enough. So in this episode we started off with a house, and that is what so far we have built. So we have done a pretty good job. Like I say, if you want to see more from these videos, but you sort of say, we want to see more, James, but can you keep them fairly short, keep them to half hour? Now, I'm not that great at editing, so there isn't going to be like loads of edit cuts. It will be just literally me doing stuff for half an hour, and then we'll end the video, because I've tried sort of kind of doing all the clever editing bits, and honestly it just doesn't work. So play to your strengths, not to your weaknesses. That's what I always say. But now that we've got 2 water tankers, we can now get 2 fish, so that's good. That's being utilized and done the way that we like, as I say. And yeah, so as I say, but we can do. But if you'd like to see more, then let me know. If not, I'll go for a couple of more videos, just so as we can expand out, get some dairy, and get some other things going as well, and maybe some orchards and stuff like that, because there's quite a lot you can do with this game. So we'll sort of do that, and then see where we're at. But thank you ever so much for watching this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. As I always say, I appreciate every single view that I get, and if you have enjoyed this video, why not hit that thumbs up button. Thanks ever so much for watching, and I'll see you again next time. Bye for now.